Hi, I'm Alex McRickard, and this is the fishing report for the month of July in Virginia. In today's fishing report, we're going to highlight techniques and tactics for catching channel catfish in urban impoundments. We're here at Dory Park in Henrico County, and there are a lot of small urban impoundments across the state that provide great channel catfish opportunities. We're going to break down the rods, reels, and terminal tackle that you're going to need to be successful out on the water, and we'll even talk to you a little bit about channel catfish biology. But before we get into the specifics about the fishery, I wanted to first tell you all about the opportunity for a refer a friend. For a limited time, you can refer a friend to go fishing. All you have to do is log on to your Go Outdoors account and generate a referral code that you can send to a friend who is interested in picking up fishing. As a reward, you will both receive a free gift from the Department of Wildlife Resources. To learn more, visit the link below or in the video description. Today we're actually lucky to have Scott Herman with us, a fisheries biologist who actually manages these urban impoundments in the Richmond metropolitan area. Scott, tell us a little bit about Dory Park.
Yeah, Dory Park's one of our shining jewels there for Henrico County and small impoundments. They actively stock this water with trout during the winter months, pretty much November through March. But one of the things we're targeting today is the abundant channel catfish population that was recently stocked towards the middle part of May. Still piles of fish out there. We were actually catching a few nice ones this morning, just a couple minutes ago. So things are looking pretty good for the day. Usually every year we stock, 1,750 pounds of channel catfish. So this year they pretty much average about a pound a piece. You know, a little bit under this year in terms of the size range, but you know, there's still some nice ones out there. Put in about 2,000 or so channel catfish this year. So it was, you know, anglers are taking advantage of it, you know, having fun. You're allowed 4 channel catfish per person per day, 1 active fishing pole. People, you know, great resource for young anglers to get accustomed to the easy task of trying to catch a few channel catfish and having fun with friends and family.
When we're thinking about rods and reels and the setup for targeting channel catfish, you know, you really don't need to go anything too advanced. One of the great things about fishing for channel catfish is it's very simple. So this is just a 2-piece, 5.5-foot medium action Shakespeare sturdy stick, and actually a closed-faced push-button reel works just fine for targeting some of these smaller channel catfish on some of these urban impoundments. You can also fish with a light to medium light action spinning rod.
Yeah, this rod here, shoot, I've had this probably about 25, maybe 30 years. So Berkley Pro Series. Usually it's use it for bass, you can use it for catfish, you can pretty much a medium spinning combo. And one of the basic rigs for fishing here at Dory Park Pond or any of the urban waters where we stock catfish, you know, Shields Lake over in Richmond, another water where we stock. You pretty much egg sinker, all you need for weight. You don't need 1.5 ounces, 2 ounces of lead, you know, 1/2 ounce egg sinker to a small glass bead. Protects the knot that you have here to the barrel swivel. So when that kind of slides down, you have another leader section here. This is actually 17-pound Berkley XT line that we have about 12, 13 inches or so to a small 2/0 circle hook, small chunky eel here. One of the big things with the circle hook that allows the fish to kind of take the bait and it'll actually rotate under pressure into more times than not into the corner of the jaw. So it's kind of interesting. You know, you don't have to do too much in terms of setting the hook, just kind of a constant pressure and lift up on the reel.
As Scott highlighted, really, it's a very simple setup for targeting channel catfish with bottom rigs on some of these impoundments. To get the rig set up, you're going to need an egg sinker here, 1/4 to 1/2 ounce egg sinker. You can attach one of these red glass beads underneath the egg sinker to kind of protect your knot once you attach a swivel. And then really, we're just using this trilene 17-pound. You want about 13 to 14 inches, maybe 15 inches for a leader. And then you can either use a 3/0 or a 2/0 circle hook. And the circle hook's great because it really allows you to hook that channel catfish right in the corner of the mouth, and it prevents issues with fish being gut hooked. That circle hook can slide out and cleanly hook the fish in the corner of the mouth. When we're thinking about bait for targeting channel catfish, it's important to remember that channel catfish are scavengers and they're opportunistic. So they're going to be looking for food down along the bottom. You can do well with a night crawler rigged up on this Carolina rig that we talked about. They work really well. You don't need the entire night crawler. You can actually probably cut it into thirds and just use a chunk of night crawler weaved onto the hook. The other option would be to use this is just frozen American eel here, and just using a small chunk of American eel really gets the channel catfish going.
Usually 8 to 10-pound monofilament line is fine. You don't have to go too heavy out here. And we got a biter right here, so let's see if Alex will hook up here with a catfish. So you never know. One of the big things with a lot of these urban waters, you don't have to go too heavy. You know, a lot of people, sometimes we see people with 9, 10-foot surf rods. These catfish aren't the biggest catfish in the world. It's not the James River. You're not going to be catching any 40, 50-pound catfish. We'll see what Alex has got here. He's got a nice channel catfish. So one of the representative fish. It's actually a real fish, not a robotic fish that we snapped our fingers and yeah, we actually caught it. But one of the channel catfish that we stocked back in May. One of the things here with at Dory Park Pond, you have the one active rod per person, but there's no real restrictions on the number of hooks. This one actually rigged up with a triple dropper loop, so it kind of miniature trot line aspect, so to speak. We'll have the three chunks of eels out there, and this catfish decided to take down one for a nice little breakfast snack.
This is great.
Now, here's one of the channel catfish we're able to catch here, Dory Park Pond. One of the big things with handling these guys, you always got to be careful watching out for the pectoral spines. And pretty much lock you up there. They have sharp serrated edges on the side, so it's the last thing in the world you want to do is have the spine stuck into your hand or your arm, kind of like the pincushion effect. You got to watch out for that. Get the dorsal spine here as well. Really not going to get poked by that, but you definitely have to straddle around the pectoral spines.
It's always important when you catch a fish to make sure you wet your hands ahead of time. Fish have a protective slime coating that acts as their immune system. You always want to handle these fish with wet hands. It's best for the health of the fish when practicing catch and release. You can see this is just a small juvenile channel catfish. Scott mentioned earlier the deeply forked tail, and oftentimes people get excited about the whiskers. These are actually called barbels in the fisheries world. Whiskers, these barbels, they have tiny taste buds, and again, it's an olfactory sensory organ that helps the fish seek out food down along the bottom. But again, you can see the eyes located here on the side of the fish's head, and the fish also exhibits a counter shading. You can see it's very dark along the back and light on the underside that allows the fish to kind of blend into its surroundings really well. You can see the channel catfish has a rounded anal fin here. Some folks sometimes confuse larger channel catfish with blue catfish on our tidal rivers, and the main thing to look at is the anal fin. You can see on the channel catfish it's always going to be a little more rounded. On a blue catfish it's going to be a straight edged anal fin there. And some of these smaller juvenile fish are going to have a lot of black specks down along the side of their fish, down along the side here. But again, channel catfish, great fish to introduce people to the sport of fishing with.
Hi, I'm Clint Morgeson, Region 1 Fisheries Manager. We're here at Dory Park Pond catching some channel catfish on one of our urban program waters. Dory Park Pond, located in Henrico, is just one of 8 urban program waters located throughout the state, where we use license monies to stock catchable size trout in the winter months and catchable size channel catfish in the summer months, starting in May. Dory Park Pond is just one of our many urban program waters throughout the state where you can find easy, convenient fishing opportunities for you and your family. Please visit the link below to find an urban program water near you.
One of the exciting things about the urban channel catfish fishery here at Dory Park Pond is you don't necessarily have to take these guys home for dinner. You can release them, maybe catch them in the fall, catch them next year, who knows, you can catch them when they're 5, 6, 7 pounds. We've had fishermen catch up to 9, 10 pound channel catfish out here. Those fish have definitely been around for several years. It's kind of one of those things where, hey, you get that extended season, come out here multiple times, catch these fish again.
Channel catfish really are a fun fish to target on rod and reel. Remember to take advantage of our Refer a Friend program and get somebody new out on the water fishing for channel catfish. It's a great way to introduce someone to the sport of fishing. Also, check out our new trout hard card with beautiful brook trout artwork by Michael Simon. It's a great way to store your fishing license, and it fits easily into a wallet. We'll see you on the water.